For the sign of Libra, hello and welcome to my channel. Let's see what's going on for the sign of Libra. What is the overall energy for the sign of Libra? This is a general reading. Just remember the top cards, they're paired with the bottom cards, and I'll be going through the past, present, challenge, and outcome. The decks that I use for this reading, I'll have them listed in the description box below. I've already pre-shuffled, and I'll use 2 oracle cards for your oracle advice. They're the 2 cards to the very far left side of the screen. So Libra, for your advice we have compassion. Now on the flip side of this card it says, be gentle with yourself. You are a magnificent soul. And then we also have, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. So for your advice, it's basically saying that this probably should be a time to be gentle with yourself, comfort yourself, because you're a beautiful, magnificent, wonderful soul, and just know that you create moments in your life in a big way, or in a better way, if you remember that you are love and miracles, they do happen, they're natural. So compassion and create mindful moments. That's your advice for February. Now let's move on over to the recent past. We have the Knight of Wands, and it's paired with the Moon card. So with the Knight of Wands, this is actually a great time for travel if you can manage to get away. You should be feeling charged up and with a whole lot of energy, and you'll probably get a lot of things done, or it's a great time to do that. Your self-confidence is likely to be increasing, and this should help. It should help you toward any goals that you have, because the Knights, they're about messages. The messages are likely to be positive and probably related to work or career, but it could go either way. Your projects, they are likely to be more successful at this time. Well, we're talking about the recent past, so they were probably more successful than you had expected or predicted. Also, you had a lot of reasons to feel pride at that time. So if you were asking about love and relationships with this Knight of Wands, you probably met someone in the recent past through work. This new person was likely to have hair on the lighter end of the spectrum. If you were already in a relationship at that time, you needed to be sure that your communication was as clear as it could be, and make it a point to take time to talk to each other. This would have improved your feelings of closeness substantially. Now that's with the Knight of Wands, and it's paired with the Moon card. Now with this Moon card, you were probably in a more psychic and intuitive phase than usual. So it would have been important for you to trust your instincts and your impressions, even if you were unsure where they were coming from at that time. Also, not that you needed to be mistrusting, but it would have been helpful for you to realize that it's probably was possible that all was not what it seemed to be. If you felt like you could not trust someone or trust a person, then you probably were correct. You probably could not. So you needed to go with your gut instincts. And if you were waiting on an answer from someone at that time, unfortunately, it could have taken longer than you would have liked for it to. So you would have needed to stay patient, or that's what you did. When we're asking about love and relationships, when you get the moon card, it points to a highly emotional time in a relationship. So if you were in a relationship, things probably became really heated up and uncomfortable. So you probably took a break from this person, or you needed to. Also, it would have been important for you not to make assumptions and fight fairly. If you were going to fight at all, pick your battles and be sure that you were treating your lover like a friend. Also, don't be in a hurry to end or begin that relationship, because this probably was not the best time for either course of action. So with these two cards paired together, the Knight of Wands and the Moon card for your recent past, the Moon card is about some type of deception. So someone could have been deceiving you or trying to at that time. It probably felt like maybe someone was wearing a mask, not really saying or showing how they really feel. And it was probably having you feel maybe you were ready to move on, because with this Knight of Wands, it's about having a lot of energy and charged up. And you see, I don't know if you can see the picture, but this man is on a eagle or some type of animal it looks like he's in the sky, and he's just taking off. So there, with some deception, maybe, like I said, maybe the person you're dealing with, or maybe it was a situation and you were probably just ready to move on because you had a lot of reasons to feel pride at that time. You had a lot of energy, and maybe you just took off from the situation. So that's what I have for the recent past. Now let's move on over to the present time. We have the Ten of Cups, and it's paired with the Death card. Now the Ten of Cups, it's a very uplifting card. Very, very uplifting. This card is about happiness. It's about a wish fulfillment. Either way, it's a very good card. This Ten of Cups, it speaks about a happy family life, even if you're single, and to the general well-being that goes way beyond you yourself, to include those that you're most concerned about, such as your parents, siblings, children, and much more. Also, being spiritually fulfilled is a part of this picture. This is a very good card, once again, to see, regardless of any questions. Now this Ten of Cups is paired with a Death card. This Death card does not necessarily or even usually indicate death. In fact, it's considered irresponsible for readers to predict physical death, because we're all creatures with free will, and such things, they're not written in stone. This card simply indicates transformation and change. This is definitely a time of deep transformation. It's likely to be both internally and externally in your life. Some situations and things and people that you've counted on or have gotten used to, they may no longer be available to you in quite the same way as they once were. Keep in mind, this transition can be a difficult time for some people. The change is nearly always needed, though, so keep that in mind. So for your present time, we have this beautiful Ten of Cups, and then we have this Death card that it's paired with, and the two of them are basically, what they're saying together is that there's some type of deep transformation that you're going through, or that's coming up. So there's a real deep transformation. It could be internally, it could be externally, but it usually doesn't feel good. Okay, but it's a change that's nearly always needed. Maybe you won't see it at the time. A deep transformation, it could be something that you're not. Some people think it's something harsh that's gonna hurt real bad. Now, let me give you some examples of deep transformation. Cosmetic surgery. If you went from from being flat-chested, now you're triple D. You had cosmetic surgery. Okay, that's deep transformation. That's change. Okay, now you're getting a lot of attention. Maybe it's uncomfortable for you. So the flat-chested person that you used to be, that person is gone. It's that person is still there, but the look of you has died. All right, so now you're this voluptuous person, and people are giving you more attention that you've never had before, and you're not handling it too well. Okay, something you have to get used to. So that's an example of deep transformation and change. So like I said, when you hear the word, when you get the death card, don't think it's something that's don't think it's something that's really, really bad. Some people's heads, they just run wild when they see this card. I'm just trying to give you some other examples. It doesn't have to be drastic, or it is drastic with this death card, but it doesn't have to be actual death. Okay, so once you go through this deep transformation, because it's paired with a 10 of Cups, you're going to come out of this death card period. You're going to come out of it being very uplifted. You're going to embrace this change, this deep transformation. You're going to realize that whatever has died, it has turned. Whatever has died has turned into a wish fulfillment. You're going to realize that whatever is no longer is now your dream. Okay, so it's going to cause you to be uplifted in a very, very, very wonderful way, and it's going to cause a whole lot of happiness with this 10 of Cups. So just remember that whatever is going to deep transform you, whatever's going to die, it's going to turn around in a short period of time with this 10 of Cups, and it's going to make you feel like you're sitting on top of the world, because you'll come to a realization of a lot of things after you experience this deep transformation. So it's going to turn out to be, you're going to realize that, wow, this was actually a wish fulfillment. Okay, so that's not bad at all for your present, but just take it as a warning. You may not realize that you're in a wish, that your wish is being fulfilled. You may not realize it, okay, because this deep transformation may have you kind of stuck in your head. So just remember this, that it's actually going to turn around to be a wish, that's something that you've always wished for, and it's going to make you really happy. So that's what we have for the present time. Now let's move on over to the challenge. We have the 4 of Cups, and it's paired with the 4 of Pentacles. Now this 4 of Cups is about wishful thinking. It warns us to remember to pay attention to what is now, count your many blessings, and not worry too much about what could be. Because we all know it's very easy to overlook what we already have in pursuit of what we don't have. So be sure that you are counting your blessings. Don't spend too much time in self-pity or wishing your life away at this time. Because a lot of life has to do with where we put our focus. So put your focus on things and people in your life that you have to be thankful for. That's the Four of Cups, and it's paired with the Four of Pentacles. It's a card about holding on to things, people, money, situations longer than is healthy or realistic. When this card appears in a reading, it's a definite sign that you must look very carefully at what you're clinging to and whether others are clinging to you in an unhealthy way. So keep in mind this Four of Pentacles, it points to anxiety and fear about money and or clinging to whatever makes you feel secure. The key here is to try to realize that being anxious and grasping, it does not bring security. As you can see in the picture, this man, he's got his feet and he's got his hands. He's on all fours. And he's holding on to those pentacles in a very unhealthy way. You could tell by the look on his face. So with these two cards paired together, it's basically you're clinging to something, you're holding on to something in a very unhealthy way, and you're forgetting to count your blessings. So yeah, you could be wishing your life, wishing your life away, wishing too much wishful thinking, and you're forgetting you can't really cling on to things like that because it's unhealthy and it's going to cause anxiety, and it'll make you sick. It'll make you sick being like that. So the Four of Cups reminds you to count your blessings. All right, so don't spend too much time in self-pity or wishing your life away, because a lot of life has to do with what we put our focus on, and you're probably too focused about holding on to something in a very unhealthy way. So go ahead and count your blessings. And that's going to be the challenge. So we move on over to the outcome. We have the Page of Swords and the Ten of Wands. So with the Page of Swords, it can sometimes stand for an actual person, a literal person in your life. If this is the case, it will represent a younger person. The page can often indicate a message is coming in. This message, it may not be what you're hoping to hear. This Page of Swords tells us that you could be trying too hard or pushing too fast or stepping on the toes of others. You may need to study the body language of others and consider how well you do or do not accept constructive criticism from other people. You probably have a great deal of mental and physical energy at this time, so use it wisely. So this Page of Swords is paired with a Ten of Wands. You could be feeling as though you're carrying a heavy burden. You may want to look hard at this and see if there are any ways that you might lighten your load, literally or figuratively. If you look carefully, you'll probably find that part of the burden that you're carrying, it actually belongs to someone else. So it's going to be important for you to pace yourself now and don't try to take on too much. So with these two cards paired together for your outcome, you've got something that's weighing you down. Looks like we talked about you being clinging on to something, and it was causing you anxiety for your challenge, but it looks like it's carrying over to the outcome. So you still got some type of anxiety or heavy burden here, and it's you need to figure out how to lighten your load. Something is still bringing you down in an unhealthy way, and there's a message coming in. So this message that's coming in, it's probably causing the problem. That's what I'm picking up, because like I said, this Page of Swords is about something that you really don't want to hear it. not at this time. Now is not the right time. You don't want this bill that you just got from the gas company. It's more, it's higher than you ever thought it was going to be. Something that you don't want to hear. Your son just brought home a really bad report card. You're not having it. Now is really not the time. You got a lot of other stuff going on, okay? So something's got you something's got you feeling like you're carrying a heavy burden, and someone's bringing in the message, and you just don't want to hear it at this time. So that's what I have for the outcome. Libras, I hope you enjoy this reading. There's going to be a link below of the extended, and I'll go over a whole lot more. I just want to say thank you so very much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I post a reading. Also, I hope that you're enjoying 2020, and I just want to say that I do wish that you have a beautiful February. Have a great day.